All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. This is, again, like we said, the virtual fall preview day for the College of Engineering at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And before we get started, just a couple of webinar housekeeping items. You are, as attendees, you are muted and your cameras are turned off, just so you know. This presentation is being recorded and is also being broadcast through YouTube, and it will be available at the Cal Poly Slow Admissions website. And as we're going along, please feel free to enter any questions you have into the Q&A. We have students from all the majors available here to answer questions, as well as folks from admissions and myself. And so, yeah, let's get going. This is the College of Engineering. And just to let you know, we'll be hearing from a few folks today. We'll be hearing from Amy Fleischer, who is the Dean of the College of Engineering, who's our leader. We have our ambassadors, which are student representatives from all of our programs and majors, and they'll be introducing themselves and their major, and they're also here to answer any questions. And me, I'm Eric Meal. I'm the Associate Dean for Diversity and Student Success in the College of Engineering, and I'm here to really promote a diverse and inclusive environment focused on learning and student success. So with that, I'm going to play a little introduction from our Dean.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Fleischer, and I'm the Dean of the Cal Poly College of Engineering. I want to welcome you to this year's preview day. We're so happy that you've joined us today to learn about our engineering programs. We really wish we could welcome you in person, and I want to acknowledge that this year's high school seniors have had an experience unlike any other. I know this is making your college planning challenging, and I wish you and your families the absolute best as you all navigate this process. Cal Poly Engineering is a really fascinating place. We're a large state school that feels like a small private university. Most of our classes are 35 students or smaller. And our faculty focus on teaching, but are internationally recognized for their scholarship, including in the field of engineering education, which is really great for our classes, which offer the most impactful types of pedagogy. We offer 14 different degree programs in engineering, which creates a wide and diverse college, which is well situated for interdisciplinary opportunities. And all of our programs are built on a learn by doing philosophy, which means that you will begin to work in your field from the very first day you set foot on campus. It's this learn by doing approach that makes Cal Poly different from all the other universities, and which means that our graduates are highly sought after by companies and are well positioned to succeed at top graduate schools. By actually doing engineering day in and day out, in and out of the classroom, our engineers have a wealth of actual experience before they graduate. The college offers over 80 student-led engineering-focused clubs, which gives our students further opportunities to practice their skills. And many of these clubs are internationally and nationally recognized. They cover a wide range of engineering activities, including our PolySat program, which launches student-designed satellites, our human-powered vehicle team, which last year shattered a collegiate land speed record, our concrete canoe team, which has multiple national championships, and our new Artificial Intelligence Club, which is designing a Cal Poly-focused artificial intelligence interface, which will answer all your Cal Poly questions. We also have a lot of clubs that assist students with professional development and networking. These include WISH, Women in Software and Hardware, NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers, SHEP, the Society of Hispanic and Professional Engineers, and our 1,000-member strong Society of Women Engineers, one of the top chapters in the country, and which features last year's National Advisor of the Year working with them. All of these clubs provide a vital support community for our students. Our Cal Poly education provides a supportive environment in which our students grow as engineers and learn to have confidence in their abilities. Last year, I was chatting with a young woman about her upcoming internship. I asked her what she was going to be doing on her internship, what she was going to be working on, and she really excitedly told me that it was an internship in robotics, and it would be great because she didn't know anything about robotics, but she was really excited to learn. And I have to say, in so many different schools, that student would not have even had the confidence to apply to an internship like that because they didn't have the background knowledge. But here at Cal Poly, our students take it as a challenge and a growth opportunity. You don't know about something? Great. Let's find the opportunity to learn, and it will help us grow as an engineer. I wish you the best as you're going through your college search, and we have a number of people here ready to talk with you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your preview day. Thank you. Hey, everybody.
So again, just to reiterate, we are a large college, but we do have a small school feel and culture. Our faculty are focused on teaching, mentoring, and learning with students, but well known for the research in their field and within engineering education. Learn by doing is not just a motto, it really is who we are. Graduates are tenacious, they're confident, and they're fearless. And we have a supportive and nurturing environment for our students that fosters diverse, equitable, and inclusive community-based environment. Just a few stats about the College of Engineering. We are ranked #1 among all top public universities that don't offer a PhD. We're actually #8 overall on that list. And all of our departments are ranked in the top 3 by discipline, according to US News and World Report. Our enrollment, this is for fall of last year, and it's pretty similar this year, is a little under 6,000 students in those 14 programs. And we typically see anywhere from 17 to 19,000 applications. And we typically accept around 3,000 or 4,000. And we usually look for a class of about 1,200 students coming in each year. We have about 27% of our students are female. And we're number 20 in the United States in terms of number of degrees granted to women, according to the American Society of Engineering Education. And we're about 17 to 18% underrepresented students within the College of Engineering. And that also makes us number 16 in the number of degrees awarded to Hispanic Latinx students in the United States. And again, according to the American Society of Engineering Education. And so I'd like to, normally we would be able to tour you around campus. And since we can't be on campus, we've put together a virtual tour that is again hosted by our Dean, Amy Fleischer.
Hi, I'm Amy Fleischer, Dean of the College of Engineering. Every day, I get to see the innovative, creative, and impactful things our faculty and students are doing here on campus, and I find it really inspiring. If you're considering attending Cal Poly, we'd really love to show you in person how our students and faculty are making a difference while preparing for the future. But for the moment, let me take you on a little virtual tour. Whenever we talk about Cal Poly, we're proud to share our Learn by Doing ethos, the university's unique, hands-on approach to learning that gives our students a competitive edge. Learn by Doing is particularly emphasized here in engineering, where you can see our students designing, creating, and testing throughout the year. It's pretty remarkable. There's always something interesting going on. One hub of activity is the Bonderson Project Center, located in the Engineering Plaza. When he was an electrical engineering student at Cal Poly, future Silicon Valley entrepreneur Paul Bonderson had to perform his senior project work in his garage due to a lack of space on campus. Years later, he and his wife Sandy supported this modern facility that's home to the Mustang 60 machine shop, open to all students with proper training. Always a hot spot, Bonderson, as we call it, is particularly active as students work to complete their senior projects. The Aero Hangar is a longtime fixture on campus and a place where alumni like aviation pioneer Burt Rattan learn to innovate. It's also a place where you'll find lots of students working on club projects at all hours of the day. The College of Engineering has dozens of clubs, from competition clubs like Cal Poly Racing to clubs that seek to have an impact.
Our engineering clubs are in a unique position to make a difference in people's lives, and we've seen many uplifting and dramatic stories unfold here. While some clubs have an impact on individuals with disabilities, others reach far beyond San Luis Obispo and even planet Earth, like our PolySat Club. The CubeSat, a mini satellite that has greatly expanded space research, was co-created right here on Cal Poly's campus. And today, Cal Poly remains a crucial contributor to CubeSat technology. When Bill Nye's Planetary Society sought to have CubeSats travel with a solar sail, a groundbreaking experiment in space exploration, Cal Poly's PolySat Lab was used as a mission control for the light sail to launch, and our students continue to monitor its movement in space. Our civil engineering students have won the National Concrete Canoe Championships, sometimes referred to as the America's Cup of Civil Engineering, 5 times in the past decade. And for more than 70 years, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo students have collaborated with Cal Poly Pomona students to build a huge float seen by millions worldwide on New Year's Day. You'll see our students working at the Rose Float Garage the entire year, creating the only student float in the Tournament of Roses parade. Clubs are an excellent way for our students to share their knowledge of various disciplines, and they're a great way to bond. And because it's important for all students to feel like they belong, we strongly support diversity and inclusivity. One of many programs that promote this, our Multicultural Engineering program, provides a strong support network to build a community and provide important bridges for students' academic, personal, and professional success. Every student has the right to succeed in their educational endeavors, and we're especially prepared to make that happen, producing top-notch graduates that will one day become leaders and innovators. Graduates like NASA astronaut Victor Glover, a general engineering alumnus who is preparing to go to the International Space Station. While the general engineering program allows students to mold their educational plan according to their particular interests, our other programs have distinct concentrations, and for each we provide the tools needed to succeed. In aerospace engineering, for example, our students use our wind tunnel to conduct aerodynamic testing. Through their coursework, Aero undergrads have actually worked with organizations like Tesla and NASA to test innovative projects. These industry connections provide students with real-world learning, eye-grabbing resume highlights, and vital career contacts. A big reason industry likes partnering with us is because they want to build a pipeline for future employees. Our graduates will be what we call Day One ready, trained by Cal Poly to immediately be contributing members of the workforce. Industry often helps facilitate that by sponsoring labs, like the Cal Poly Northrop Grumman Cyber Lab, which gives faculty the tools to teach computer science and software engineering students about cybersecurity, a rapidly growing field that's crucial to the safety of our nation's infrastructure. Industry support also often helps students focus on societal and workforce needs, including electrical engineering students who learn about building microgrids, industrial and manufacturing engineering students figuring out how to make workflow more efficiently, and biomedical engineering students helping faculty perform important blood vessel research. Industry support comes from private business and governmental agencies like the U.S. Department of Energy, which sponsored research that could help environmental engineering students convert algae to biofuels. We work hard to establish and maintain industry support, and you'll see examples of that throughout our campus. The College of Engineering is one of the most varied on campus, with 10 departments and programs. Some of these cross over, like computer engineering, which teaches students elements of computer hardware and software, while others, like civil engineering, have a more specific focus, concentrating on the physical and naturally built environment. All students are required to complete a culminating experience before graduation. Mechanical engineering students are shown here working on senior projects. These projects have included bike strollers for adults with disabilities, solar-powered generators that could be dropped into disaster zones, and a robot that can detect and put out ember fires. We want to promote that relevant hands-on experience even further, providing these opportunities to students before their senior year. Our summer undergraduate research program pairs students with industry and faculty-sponsored projects with real-world implications. These material engineering students, for example, worked at the Cal Poly Pier to conduct research on artificial reefs, looking at how seawater impacts the corrosion of titanium. Of course, there's much more to see and learn about our college. I hope you'll eventually be able to visit us in person. If you're like me, you'll be in awe of our students, faculty, and facilities, and all the exciting work that represents a typical day here at Cal Poly's College of Engineering.
Great, and so like we said, we have a little over a dozen majors. We have aerospace, biomedical, civil, computer science, environmental engineering, electrical, general engineering, industrial, liberal arts and engineering studies, manufacturing, materials engineering, mechanical, and software engineering. And so now we're going to have a short video with students from each of those majors giving you a little bit of their take on what their major is like.
Hello, my name is Lauren Ochoa, and I'm going to be telling you guys about my major, Aerospace Engineering. Aerospace Engineering is broken up into two concentrations. Aeronautics, which deals more with things within our atmosphere, so planes and gliders, and astronautics, which is outside of our atmosphere, so rockets and satellites. We here at Cal Poly really believe in hit the ground running. So your first quarter here, you get to take an aero intro class where you actually get to build your own rocket and glider and really get a feel for what both concentrations entail. As the years go by, you get to take a lot of cool labs, including ones where you simulate space environments and others where you get to play with our very own wind tunnel. And if that's not enough for you, we also got a lot of cool aerocentric clubs, including one called PolySat, where they actually build their own satellites and, partnered with NASA and other organizations, actually get to shoot those satellites into orbit. So choose aerospace and get ready to launch your career.
Hi, everyone. My name is Isabella. I'm on pronouns she, her, hers. I'm a third-year biomedical engineering major at Cal Poly. Biomedical engineering at Cal Poly has two different concentrations, mechanical design and bioinstrumentation. With a degree in biomedical engineering, you are not limited to any field really, but some of the common fields that people go into are biomaterials, biomedical transport, skeletal tissue mechanics, biopotential instrumentation, and stem cell or regenerative research. For my courses at Cal Poly, in my first 2 years, I took a lot of foundational engineering courses in mechanical engineering, physics, chemistry, electrical engineering, civil engineering, and then once you get to your third and fourth year, you apply those general engineering concepts to biomedical issues in the form of biomaterials, biomechanics, biomedical transport, and that really sets you up for your future with a degree in biomedical engineering. Aside from my major courses, I'm involved with College of Engineering ambassadors, which give tours of the College of Engineering, the Biomedical Engineering Society, which is a great resource for BMed students. For me personally, after graduating, I eventually want to go into cartilage and bone research, developing synthetic bone and cartilage for people that are facing problems like arthritis. Outside of my classes at Cal Poly, it's a great place to explore outdoors. I love going to the beach. I love going on hikes, just seeing what SLO has to offer, and it's just a wonderful place to live.
Hi everyone, my name is Liz. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a fourth-year civil engineering major. So civil engineering is a really broad field. There are a lot of jobs you can go into with a civil engineering degree. So I'm just going to briefly talk about all the concentrations at Cal Poly. So there are 6 concentrations of civil engineering. They are geotechnical engineering, transportation engineering, structural engineering, water resource engineering, general civil engineering, and construction engineering. And the way I like to describe all these is with the metaphor of building an airport. So if you were to be designing a brand new airport, the first person that would come in would be a geotechnical engineer. And they're going to be the ones evaluating the soil, the ground you're going to be building upon, making sure that it's able to withstand the load of an airport. Next would be the structural engineer, who would design the physical building of the airport, making sure everything is structurally sound, the roof is not going to collapse on you while you're inside of the airport. The water resource engineer is going to be the one dealing with all the piping throughout the building, anything related to water. The transportation engineer is going to be the one building the actual runways for the airplanes, making sure they're able to withstand the load of an airplane, making sure you're using the appropriate concrete to be able to hold this much load. The general civil engineer would be able to do any of these or just help out where is needed. And the construction engineer would be the one overseeing the actual construction of the project, making sure that everything is built as it was designed. Yeah, so there's really a lot you can do with civil engineering. I recommend looking into these concentrations if you think you might be interested in seeing what classes each one would take. And yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Nana Tiwari, and I'm a third-year computer engineering and physics major. Outside of school, I participate in Cal Poly CubeSat Laboratory and Women Involved in Software and Hardware, or WISH. As a computer engineering major, you'll get to take a lot of really cool classes, some in software and some in hardware, and some in computer engineering. You'll get to build things like robots, microcontroller projects, and you'll even get to program your own 32-bit CPU in your second year. And there's a lot of things you can do after college. You can go into software or hardware, or you could do things like embedded systems, hardware graphics, hardware security, and parallel computing, and so much more. Personally, I want to write low-level software for spacecraft. And Cal Poly gives you the opportunity to do some of these things in industry while you're a college student. It's one of the many reasons why I decided to come here, and one of the most beneficial things I've had since being here. I hope you would consider computer engineering at Cal Poly.
Hi, my name is Sejal Cargill, and I'm a fourth-year computer science major. I'm involved in student organizations like Engineering Ambassadors, where I'm the Computer Science Department Representative, WISH, which stands for Women Involved in Software and Hardware, and CSAI, which is the Artificial Intelligence Club on campus. I love my major because I'm able to take courses that I'm really passionate about and interested in, like computer graphics and user-centered interface and design, and I'm able to get the knowledge that I need for my coursework to have amazing internship opportunities like I have had in the past at PlayStation and Apple. I look forward to class every day because of the small class sizes. I'm able to get the attention that I need from my professors and develop a relationship with them to learn what I need in the most effective way. I really love the student community that I have in my major as well, because there's so many different student organizations for exactly what you're looking for, and you can always find your people.
Hello, my name is Shane. I'm a fourth-year electrical engineering major, and I'm here to talk to you about EE. There are many things that you can do with EE. We have different pathways that you can take. We have power and renewable energy. We have RF communications. We have semiconductor devices that you can work on, computer architecture design, and anything else that you can do with EE. A whole bunch of different things, consulting, stuff like that. One thing that I really like about Cal Poly's EE program, and one of the reasons that I chose Cal Poly, was because of the lab experience that we get. We get to work with a variety of different types of the testing equipment for different focuses. We get to work with oscilloscopes, we get to work with power generators, we get to work with a bunch of different things. Another thing that I really value in the E department is our opportunity to do research. Research is a big thing in our department. I myself have been a part of several different projects. I've worked on microgrid design. Right now, my senior project is building a wind turbine, which I'm really excited about. We are also building an electric bike charging station for campus, and those are just some of the examples of things that you can do. We have a bunch of different opportunities for a bunch of different categories in E as well. And finally, one thing that I definitely wanted to mention is that I love about the department is that it's a welcoming and collaborative community. A lot of times you're told or you think that being in college is all about being competitive and being the smartest kid in the room and all that kind of things. And though, yeah, that's important, it's also not the goal, right? One thing I love about the E department is that we have this feeling that we're all in this together. Yeah, our major is difficult, but we can get through it and we help each other out. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys have a great time.
Hi,
Hi, my name's Ava Mattis and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a fourth year environmental engineering student and I'm also minoring in Italian and sustainable environments. Here at Cal Poly, our environmental engineering program is pretty broad and there's no concentrations. We focus mainly on air quality, water quality, and waste management, and we do this through a variety of environmental and civil engineering courses. Our major is actually one of the smallest on campus, which is really nice because it allows us to grow a lot closer to each other and also to our faculty members. The best way to get involved with environmental engineering is by joining our club, the Society of Environmental Engineers, also called CENV. Through CENV, we have a mentor-mentee program where new students are paired up with older students who can help guide them through their transition to Cal Poly and within the major. And also through this club, we have weekly meetings where we invite members from industry to come in and speak to us about what it's like being in industry and also to talk about potential job opportunities. And then, of course, we also have bonding events in the club. Normally we go camping every year. Right now that's on hold, so we're just having Zoom meetings and Netflix hangouts and things like that. So yeah, I hope you have a great year and good luck.
My name is Alex Schwartz. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a second-year general engineering major at Cal Poly. I plan to do an individual course of study in chemical engineering, and I also plan to get a minor in math. Some things that I like doing off campus include mountain biking, hiking, rock climbing, pretty much being outside in general, which are great activities to do here in SLO. And then some stuff that I'm involved with on campus are Engineering Ambassadors Club, Society of Women Engineers, and I also plan to start a chemical engineering club, which is very exciting. In my life, I really want to work with renewable energy. I think that doing battery research and figuring out ways to make electric planes, electric commercial planes would be really cool, lower carbon emissions by quite a bit. And at Cal Poly, through general engineering, I'm able to get a chemical engineering degree in specifically renewable energy. So I get to take a lot of environmental engineering classes, a lot of electrical engineering classes, some mechanical engineering, and overall format my course load to best suit my interests, which is really cool that Cal Poly offers that.
Hey everyone, my name is Anthony Hernandez and I'm a fourth year industrial engineering major. When I first started applying to colleges, I knew I wanted to become some sort of engineer, but I was so unsure on which one to choose. I felt I was creative and a good problem solver, and I felt like I like understanding big picture ideas, but also being social and working and learning from a large group. And all of these traits are embedded into industrial engineering. Industrial engineering, or IEs, is the perfect balance of the technical knowledge of being an engineer with the social aspects of business. And the main focus of IEs is all about process improvement and efficiency. And the goal as an IE is to improve upon different processes to create a more efficient flow. And there are lots of factors that we have to consider when working on a new project, where it is the workers, output, budget, time management, ethics, and of course the environment. And an IE's role is to keep all of this in mind when being put on a new project. And some club opportunities that we have on campus include IISC, which is the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers, where we offer real network connections with each other and help build a larger community. We also have SOC, which is Systems Optimization Club, where we get companies to reach out to us with different projects and goals that they need to fix, and the members will be put on different teams where they'll try to tackle these problems together. Lots of support from the department, and different career paths that I've personally seen my peers and friends go into are project management, consulting, data analytics, sales engineering, healthcare, manufacturing, construction, and tons of others. When you become an IE, you realize your options are really open, and you get to decide what route you want to take. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason Johnson-Yurchak and I'm a senior manufacturing engineering student at Cal Poly. This past year I've been fortunate enough to be a part of the Society of Manufacturing Engineers and become the president of the club, tying our community closer together with the IME department and with industry. Basically, at my time at Cal Poly, I've been a part of the Society of Automotive Engineers my freshman year, and that led me to be the steering design lead last year with my close friend Dylan Prince. And that opportunity actually led me also to be in an internship for the High Energy Density Physics Department for Lawrence Livermore National Labs last summer. At my time at Cal Poly, I would say that the faculty has brought me closest with my major and the department, giving me a better idea of what I want to do in the future and allowing me to become closer with the common practices of manufacturing these days. In my free time, I enjoy being part of the Cal Poly Climbing Club, and also bike riding, skateboarding, running, whatever it is, just to get me outside during this current pandemic. And manufacturing engineering has also led me to be a more confident engineering student and also a more productive student in the sense of getting my work done on time, being more of a useful priority in projects, and also just getting closer with the students and the workers around me and allowing me to further myself in my major. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ryan Forsberg. I am earning my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and my master's degree in engineering management through the Cal Poly blended program. Mechanical engineers design, develop, and test mechanical systems, devices, and machines to solve problems. Our classes focus on thermal sciences, the various forms of energy transfer, mechanics and motion, and how to effectively design products to achieve objectives. We are commonly working on projects such as designing mechanical components, using computer-aided design software, and analyzing and improving current systems to optimize energy efficiency and effectiveness. I have worked with Medtronic, Stryker, and Exobionics, all medical technology companies. After graduation, I hope to work as a mechanical design engineer or robotics engineer for an innovative medical technology company. I have a passion for enhancing the mobility and personal independence of those who are limited by their health. Outside of school, I enjoy backpacking and hiking. I plan to visit every national park in the US and have explored 21 out of 62 so far.
Hi, so my name's Caitlin. I am a fourth year software engineering major at Cal Poly from Lafayette, California. I am also the vice president of Women Involved in Software and Hardware, also known as WISH on campus, which is our club supporting women in computing fields. And I wanted to tell you a little about software engineering. It is very similar to computer science. I know we have the two majors, but the difference between software engineering and computer science is that software engineering, instead of taking a lot of tech electives, we actually take a lot of software specific classes. And the big ones of those two are a 2-quarter long class and then a 3-quarter long capstone class, your senior year, which you get into teams and you work on projects together to mimic what the product life cycle of software would be in industry, which is really cool. So you get to work with a customer for capstone, the 3-quarter long class. You work with a customer to meet their requirements, create a product for them, get feedback, and go through the whole life cycle like you would in industry, which gives you a lot of really great experience to then get a job later in the field in whatever tech field or industry you want. So yeah, I hope you guys choose to come to Cal Poly and go Mustangs.
Hello.
All right, so a lot of the students that we just heard from really talked about this idea of day one ready, which is a big part of what we mean by learn by doing. And as part of that, our students, they do projects on campus, they do in their classes, in their clubs. But of course, a lot of our students are also have internships. And so just wanted to highlight a couple of those students. Lacey Davis, who's an aerospace engineering student, had an internship at Boeing up in Everett, Washington. And she worked on the KC-46 tanker program. And again, this is real world engineering work that our students are doing during the summer between quarters. We have Kevin here, who's also an aerospace engineering student, and he actually was participated in our blended program. And I should say I actually come from the aerospace engineering department. That's where I teach. And so he did both his bachelor's and his master's degree in aerospace engineering, and had some overlap, and so that allows him to kind of accelerate the whole program. And he actually had an internship in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Hendrick Motorsports as an aerospace aerodynamics engineer. So he was working on professional stock car analysis for aerodynamics and using CFD, or computational fluid dynamics, which is the modern method of analysis for aerodynamics. We have Kieran, who's a materials engineering senior, and he interned at the US POSCO Industries in Pittsburgh, California, and he was a quality engineering intern. And you can see there he's working with his hard hat as part of on the factory floor, looking to optimize processes and improve product quality. And then we have Abhishek, who was a computer science major, and he interned at PwC in San Francisco. And so he was a cybersecurity and privacy advisory intern, and he was looking at Fortune 500 client cybersecurity risks and vulnerabilities. And so this, again, was a nice opportunity for him to take what he'd learned on campus and apply it up in industry in the Bay Area. And along with these internship opportunities, and we've talked about it a little bit, but we've started a summer undergraduate research program, which allows students the opportunity to work with faculty on industry-sponsored projects over the summer. It's a paid program, so they get a stipend to work on the project over the summer. And we actually just wrapped up yesterday our symposium for this year's summer undergraduate research program, where we had about 70 different projects that students worked on, working with faculty. And these were individual and group-based projects where they worked with faculty. So I want to just give you, we'll play a short video that kind of gives a little more detail on what this what we call the SERP program, or the Summer Undergraduate Research Program, is about.
Summer Undergraduate Research Program is a way for undergraduates to get experience doing industry-sponsored research over the summer.
The challenge that our engineering students have is that they're in such high demand in junior and senior level that the younger students don't have an opportunity to go out and get an internship because all those are taken. SERP lets them not only build a resume, but also build a set of skills that they might not get in the classroom.
I was not able to get an internship this summer, so I thought this was the next best thing for me. I get plenty of experience working in lab settings and working with other people and getting experience in doing work in my field in general.
What we're doing is building a university-wide collaboration network. What that allows us to do is understand how people are working with each other.
When I was building RC airplanes in the past, I kind of just built them and then flew them around and crashed them into trees. And that was like all fun, but I really like the idea of having an application.
What you're seeing in here is really, it's the passion of the students and the passion of their faculty mentors. And a lot of times that is directed towards things that have a direct impact on the lives of California.
The general purpose of testing these medical devices is so that they can have the best effect when used in a patient in clinical trials.
The point of our project is to build artificial reefs out of these coils. This will really help municipalities and businesses to manipulate beach erosion.
Sponsorships are critical because it's an expensive program, and the sponsorship lets us have this opportunity available to more students. Right now we had to draw the line at 65 students, whereas there were 350 students who wanted the opportunity. The experience really is about the student. There's a number of different paths that this sort of experience opens that a student might not have been exposed to before.
Just flying the drones in general, I got to learn so much I wouldn't have otherwise learned in class. Right now we get to actually see it in action and fly it out for ourselves too. This undergraduate research project allowed me to get a lot of experience and exposure to all the methods and techniques commonly used in tissue engineering, and also a different view of engineering as a whole.
This was a win. This was a win.
And I did want to point out that the flight range that they were at, that's also part of the Cal Poly campus. We call it the educational flight range. And so we use that for testing with autonomous flight vehicles and student projects as well. And just to give you a sense of our graduates and their success, we do a survey every year, and 92% of our students from the College of Engineering are employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. 98% of those found jobs that were related to their major. This last year, the median salary for starting engineers was $75,000 per year. And our 4 and 5 and 6 year graduation rates are 47%, 77%, and 83% graduation rates. And those rates are much higher than national averages, and they're very competitive with UC schools. And some of our top employers are companies like Apple, Boeing, Amazon, Abbott Labs, Google, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, Salesforce, and just any number of other companies, both big and small. And so students really do have a lot of opportunities to get into their career and a career of their choice. And just to highlight a couple of our fairly well-known alumni, Victor Glover, who was talked about before, is a general engineering major from 1999. He's currently a NASA astronaut, and actually was in the Navy as well as a pilot. So he's actually a pilot astronaut. Sydney Collin is a recent graduate who, as a undergraduate and graduate student, she again was in our blended program, developed a system and founded a company called Oro Devices, which builds mobility solutions for people that have Parkinson's disease. And so basically was a way for the walker, the cane that you see there, to assist the people that have Parkinson's disease to ensure that they don't freeze in their gait. So it helps them have better mobility. Bill Swanson there is an industrial engineer from 1971, is the former CEO of Raytheon. And he's been a really great partner with all of Cal Poly and the College of Engineering as well. And one of his passions actually is golf and volleyball, actually. So he helps with the golf team, and also you can see behind him, he donated funds to build a outdoor volleyball court. And our beach volleyball program is actually very competitive and is coached by Todd Rogers, who's a former AVP pro as well. And then you have David Taylor, who has done all sorts of different things in his career. He was an electrical engineering major from 1981, but recently just started a new venture with a winery called Cordonelli Wines up in Paso Robles, close to San Luis Obispo. But before that, he was an award-winning video compression, worked for an award-winning video compression company, Synform, and he's part of the Cal Poly Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which is a program that students across campus can participate in it. And they have different programs like incubators, and they help students with startup companies and connect them to investors and other resources, legal, patent advice, and so on. And so he's been a big supporter and mentor with that program. And just to say, many of these things were mentioned already, but our students do have access to a lot of resources inside and outside of the classroom. And so just to again highlight a few of those, our women's engineering program has been around for quite some time, and it really is there to support women within the College of Engineering in terms of their schoolwork and a place to find a home. They do a lot of work with outreach, working with young women in high schools, and so they go out to a lot of local high schools and work with to promote engineering as a major. We also have our Engineering Advising Center, which is a wonderful staff of professional advisors that can help you with all sorts of different questions that you might have about anything going on with the curriculum or what have you. And it's specific to engineering students. And so they're very well versed in our programs. It was also mentioned before, the multicultural engineering program. And it's there to really support historically underrepresented populations within engineering. And so that includes historically underrepresented minority students as well as women. And we also, the transfer students that we have that come onto campus are also part of that program, and as well as our Cal Poly Scholars or CP Scholars. And again, it's just another resource. There's a study room, they have networking events, they have specific banquets to really get the MEP students connected with industry and connected with each other and make sure that they feel supported. And recently, we have created a transfer center on campus, and this isn't college specific, but for any transfer students coming into the College of Engineering, or really anywhere in Cal Poly, there's an additional resource for them through the transfer center. And there's a whole host of other centers on campus that are dedicated to student support and success. And this was also mentioned, we have over 80 student clubs and organizations just in the College of Engineering, and there are hundreds of other clubs on campus. So and those clubs range from professional societies This is the NSBE, or the National Society of Black Engineers, at their national conference last year. We have Engineers Without Borders, and Formula SAE. They build Formula cars and Baja cars, and then of course we heard about the concrete canoe. And all of our students have, but particularly in these club projects, have access to all of our shops, our labs, computer labs, maker spaces, and they're really all dedicated to student projects. So there's a lot of opportunity to work on some really fun, amazing projects. And again, some of these are competition-based clubs, and some are more professional societies for networking and those kinds of activities. And we encourage students to get involved with one or two clubs in their time while they're here. And we definitely encourage them to also take on a leadership role within those organizations. And so that's for most of our programming that we've had prepared for the presentation here. There's some next steps. If you have any, I know there's been a lot of links that have been put into the Q&A, into the chat. Here's a couple more links if you have any questions about the College of Engineering. The virtual tour video is up there, as well as just our general link to our website, as well as ways to contact us. And also just directly there, our email, engineeringdean@calpoly.edu. And so the last thing we have is a short video from our VP for admissions.
Hi, I'm Terrence Harris, and I'm our Assistant Vice Provost for Admissions and Enrollment Development. I want to thank you for taking time to get to know more about Cal Poly. This place has great significance to me. I received both my undergraduate and graduate degrees here. I met my wife here, and my parents are alumni. I am proud to be a part of the Mustang family, and I'm excited about the prospect of you joining us here. I want you to know that as a community, we are determined to cultivate an environment that is welcoming to everyone. Every individual brings with them their own unique qualities and values that add to the richness of our campus. Regardless of who you are, where you're from, or what your background is, we want you to know that you have a place here. So, what's next? Well, I'm standing here in front of the admissions office, where our team would typically be located, ready to help guide you through the application and admissions process. We're all working virtually right now, but our services remain available. Our team is eager to help you out, so we hope you apply. The application opened on October 1st, so visit Cal State Apply to start your application today. We want you to know that we are here to help you. Visit our admissions website to learn more information about the application process or to learn about our upcoming webinar series. And don't forget to check us out on social media. I know that the decision about your educational future is a huge decision, but I also want you to know that you've come to the right place. So, I wish you and your family the best of luck as you continue through the rest of this academic year. Go Mustangs!
Great, thank you, Terrence. And so, yeah, we're here. We have a host of students that can help answer any more questions, and I'm happy to answer any kind of general questions about the college that might be there. So I do see a question. I'm just going to kind of look in the chat and kind of see what questions I see. Do I have time to get involved outside of academics? Absolutely. I mean, we have. It's a rigorous program. The classes are they're manageable, but there's definitely opportunities to get involved outside of class. And I think what I would say to any student is that time management is the key there. Our students typically have very good study skills, so they can get involved in a lot of other activities outside of campus. Is the course load heavy as an engineer? It is. We have all of our programs are about 180 to 190 quarter units. So just so you know, we're talking about quarters, which is pretty typical for engineering programs. And so the students do tend to take a slightly heavier load than other students. Our students average about 14 to 15, maybe sometimes up to 17 or 18 units per quarter, and maybe a student would say something different, but that's what it takes to get through the program in 4 years. Let's see. So I'm just looking at the chat. Yeah, so there's a question about advice to students that you're interested in engineering, but you don't necessarily know what major you want to pick. There's, hopefully you got a little bit of a sense of what the different majors are that we offer here at Cal Poly. General engineering is a place where students can kind of explore some different options. And what I would say is that regardless of the major you do choose, you can change your major within the College of Engineering, right? It's obviously easier to do it when you make that decision earlier in your career, but you can change your major. Cal Poly is unique in that we do ask you to declare your major when you apply, but a lot of that has to do with our intentional purpose of trying to get connected with students right away, right? So they come in as first-year students or transfer students, and the faculty are working with them right away. They're taking engineering courses right away, as well as their math and other general education courses. So we do ask you to declare your major. But if you're just kind of thinking about different kinds of majors and what would be interesting, I definitely encourage you to look around. Obviously on the internet, there's a lot of good resources out there. You can kind of start to think about, are you interested in software, or are you interested in more of building mechanical devices? And you can kind of think about what are the ways you like to be creative and like to solve problems. And for me, that's kind of helped guide my thinking. And when I talk to students about why they pick their major, it's like, what do you enjoy doing? What's your passion around problem solving and being creative? I really do think engineering is a form of creativity. Let's see. Can students study abroad? That's a really good question. Yes, absolutely. We have a pretty robust international program here on campus. We have, as part of our engineering advising center, we have an advisor that's dedicated to international programs. And so we have a handful of partnerships with universities, like directly with engineering in Europe and South America. But there's other opportunities besides just those programs. So there's opportunities to take non-engineering courses when you study abroad. The main thing you need to do there is you really just need to plan ahead and exactly how you're going to do that. It typically is best to take a fall quarter to do that, because you can go on a semester program at an international university, and then you just miss one quarter. Whereas if you go winter or spring, you might miss 2 quarters. But you just really need to work with your advisors and work with the International Center and your faculty and kind of make a plan and figure that out. It doesn't necessarily mean delaying 4-year graduation, but that can be a possibility. The best way to start the process of doing research or getting into internships, that's a good question. So we have a career services center on campus that is really involved and active and dedicated to having career fairs and getting students the opportunities to meet with folks from industry, get interviews, work on their resumes, work on interviewing skills, work on their networking skills and LinkedIn profiles and what have you. And a lot of our students find internships through our career fairs that we have. We normally have them on campus, but they're actually all virtual now for this year. And so we're still continuing to do that to connect students with industry to do interviews or get internships or actual job placement. Also within the majors, I would also want to mention this too. Like we said that every student has to complete a senior project, and a lot of those projects are funded by industry. And what we find is a lot of students that, and this is actually very intentional, a lot of students that work on sponsored projects actually end up getting job offers from those companies, or at least getting introduced to somebody and getting connected and getting building their network and finding opportunities that way. So it's not just, it's career services, but it's also our learn by doing and our project-based learning, where students get the opportunity to network with folks and explore different options for their job and their career. Is it realistic? Yeah, I should say that, is it realistic to change major within the College of Engineering? It is, and I wanted to say again that it is possible to change your major. It is easier to do it the earlier in your collegiate career when you're here at Cal Poly, right? Once you start to get 2 to 3 years into your curriculum, it just gets a little harder because you have to go back and take some other courses that you may have missed in that other major. So absolutely is possible though, and we have a couple hundred students every year that change their major without much any problems. So it looks like we're just about right at 3 o'clock, and so I hope you've enjoyed our presentation and the time that we've had together. It's been it would have been more fun for me, absolutely, if I could be in person with everybody and be able to look out and see you and answer your questions directly. But we really appreciate you taking the time to learn more about Cal Poly and the College of Engineering. And absolutely, if you have any questions further along and if something wasn't quite clear, please feel free to send an email. That's one of the easiest way to get a hold of us, and we'll do the best we can to respond to you and answer your questions. So once again, yeah, go Mustangs, and thank you for coming. And yes, sorry, I'm just looking at the notes here. We will stay online a little bit longer. So the formal program is over, but we will stay online a little bit longer to answer any questions as they come through. Here's a good one about the blended program. So we